So I've recently been reading lots of books about Singapore. Now that's World War II, in fairness, but it's still interesting. Wait. So World War II, not really my expertise, nor is any of them really. I'm just a casual, enthusiastic amateur as such. However, there is some really interesting stuff. So from the first Cambridgeshire's, now that's a regiment that was sort of an offshoot of the Suffolk Regiment, purely territorial. They said, oh, the Indians kind of took a lot of joy when they joined the Free National Army that the Japanese had set up. They took a bit too much enjoyment beating the English and Brits and Gurkhas. However, the second Cambridgeshire's, now this is another, once again, territorial unit from the Cambridgeshire area. So these are the second. They're both in Singapore simultaneously. And they have a very different experience. So how they sell the Indians going over to the Free National Army is they were pressed into it. They were forced into it. They didn't enjoy it. And as soon as they got a chance, they joined the Brits again. So that's two different stories from the same perspective, really. When you think about it, it's a white guy perspective. But very interesting nonetheless. The other thing is that, and this is not talked about, because I actually thought the Gurkhas would have been on the Japanese side. They would have recruited them, but the Japanese allegedly didn't like them at all, according to the 2nd Battalion. Now, the 1st Battalion doesn't mention it at all. Haven't seen any reference to the Gurkhas. But the 2nd Battalion, he says, oh yeah, no, definitely. These guys, they were hated by the Japanese, they were beaten up, they were tied up. And there's actually a very interesting quote. So he says, whenever a British officer or warrant officer would go over to check on the Gurkhas, the Japanese would beat them senseless. Now, I am paraphrasing a little bit. Absolutely ruin their day. But the Johnny, as they were known by the 2nd Cambridgeshire's, the Gurkhas, would smile at the British officer, warrant officer, and say, it's all right, we like it. So, or it's all right,